Oh, wow, it's just me. I'm the mastermind, after all. No, I'm just kidding. It's me. I'm finally back. Hi. Hello. Welcome to Big Brother coverage at the Cup TV, the currently unnamed podcast where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay, and I am here for the Saturday update. Here talking all things BB27 week 2 here on Saturday. Talking with you all today. I'm so excited to be back talking about Big Brother because, baby, this house is something else, and I'm so excited to dive into it. Today, I am drinking, not sponsored by Ardor Energy, but I would love to be. Hey, Ardor. Hey. I am drinking an Ardor Energy seltzer in the flavor vanilla blackberry, and it is quite delicious, and I'm loving it very much so. So I'll be sipping on this throughout this beautiful, beautiful live feed update today. But of course, as per usual, I've always got my cup mug on hand. You can get yours at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link is in the description below. And we do ship domestically within North America and internationally, so there are no excuses. Go get your merch. Thank you very much. But I am back. I am here talking with you all about live feeds because, baby, the feeds have been popping off this weekend. We've got a new HOH. We've got 3 new powers. 2 of them have already been activated, I think. Wild things going on in the Big Brother house. As my headline says, is it day 2 or day 42? I can't tell. These house guests are all over the place. Craziness. And I'm going to talk all about it with you all today. At the time that I'm filming this, feeds just went down about an hour ago for the Veto comp with a special guest. We'll talk about it. Kind of wild, kind of crazy. So we're going to talk about it. Before we do, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things competitive reality TV. Currently, that is Big Brother 4 days a week here at the Cup TV. Usually Saturday noms and things like that are here with Lana, but I'm filling in for Lana because she's got a lot going on. She's doing Resident Evil Diva things today. So I'm stepping in to do this beautiful Saturday update. We've got Manic Monday this coming Monday with Brooke. We've got Waffle Wednesday with Jack. I will be back this week hosting the Thursday live eviction episode, and Saturday we'll be back with Lana talking all things live feed updates for next weekend. But y'all, I just want to get into this update because, baby, it is something else. This house is crazy. I'm so sad I wasn't here last week at all to talk about the craziness of this Big Brother house, but I am happy to report so excited with how this season is going down so far. Also, as they shouted out on the pod, yes, I called it. I called Amy as the accomplice. And I loved every bit of it. She did a great job with it. But yes, here is where we're at with our beautiful house guests. Where we left off on Thursday's recap, Zay had just been the first house guest evicted by a vote of 9-5. After Kelly won the first BB blockbuster of the season. Work, Kelly. Love to see it. I'll give my thoughts on the house guests here in a little bit. But yes, Zay was the first person evicted. Feeds were down after the live episode, basically until midnight BB time for the HOH competition. It was it sounds like a variation on the black box competition. So it sounds like everyone was in the black box. The HOH, to get the HOH, you had to find like a key or something like that. From what the house guests were talking about, it sounds like everything was like key based. So you had to find the key to win the HOH. But As we saw in Thursday's episode, the mastermind came in and was doing some mastermind things, and it sounds like the mastermind put 3 powers into play in the black box competition. We do know who has those 3 powers. 2 of them have been activated going into this Power of Veto competition that is currently being played at the time that I'm filming this, which I will dive into here shortly. But yeah, it sounds like it was the black box comp. You had to like feel around to find the things. And we did find out when feeds came back shortly before midnight Big Brother time. We did find out that Jimmy won the head of household. Yay, Demon Twink! I love him. I know some people are not loving Jimmy. I know some people have their thoughts on Jimmy, this, that, and the third. I am loving Jimmy so far. I think he is a really dynamic house guest. I'm really enjoying just how much he is just here to play the game. And we heard it from his preseason. He is not afraid to make the big moves. He was not afraid in week 1 to confront the people. I loved all of his confrontations with Keanu in week 1. We'll talk about it more. He is not afraid to continue to confront Keanu in this second week, and I'm here for it. Very happy to see him get power very early on in this season. And as we are seeing throughout these 36 hours after he's won HOH, I think it's very interesting to see how he's been using this to kind of benefit his game, because he was in a very, very good position coming out of the first week, obviously in the Triple Threat Alliance with Morgan and Mickey, which I love as well. 3 of my favorites so far. I think they're doing a really, really good job at kind of mitigating their threat level, not really letting people know that they are aligned. I'm really, really liking the 3 of them together. But I think it's really interesting to see Jimmy get power this early in the game. I'm wondering, and I'm excited to see it on tomorrow night's episode. I'm really interested to see if he wanted to win this HOH or if he ended up like accidentally winning this HOH. I'm really intrigued to see whether winning HOH and winning power this early was part of his game plan or not. Because given his position in the house currently, I don't know if I was in his position, I don't know whether I would want to win HOH this early. But I think it's certainly an interesting move for him. And I'm not too mad at it. As a viewer, I'm not too mad at this move for Jimmy. I'm excited to see him in a position of power. He got his HOH room late that night. On his HOH iPod was Miley Cyrus. I don't know which album of Miley, but love the Miley choice. It wasn't his first choice, I guess. I guess he asked for a bunch of other people, and he got Miley. So, okay. But yes. Additionally, as I was talking about, we have the 3 other powers that were up for grabs in the black box competition. Those 3 powers ended up going to Kelly, Keanu, and Mickey. So we now know what all 3 of those powers are. We'll get full explanations of them in tomorrow's episode. But Kelly's power is basically a secret veto, extra veto, kind of similar to what Leah had in the Janky Week last season, where she has to go. We didn't really get full explanation because she's kind of just been telling everyone and like has been telling people, but hasn't really been telling people. Girl, Miss Kelly's a mess, and I'm living for it, but Miss Kelly's a mess. I love her. I love her down, but Miss Kelly's a mess. I am so tangent on Kelly. Loving Kelly. A mess of a house guest in the best way for me. I think Kelly is remarkably entertaining. I think Kelly is here, as she said, she's here to make big moves very, very early, and she's not afraid of that. And I really enjoy that. She's even said now in the last couple of days on feeds, she's been very inspired by Tucker, and I see that inspiration. I like it. I'm worried for her. I'm really worried now that she's on the block again this week. And now that everybody knows she has this power, I'm a little bit worried for our girl Kelly. But I certainly appreciate, bold out of the box gameplay, and I am not surprised we're getting that from a player like Kelly. So I'm not mad. I think she's kind of cuckoo, but in the best way. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad. But yeah, so we know that Kelly's power is an extra veto, it seems like. She's got it sounds like some kind of like Survivor style journey almost. I wasn't really getting the full specs on what it was from her conversations. But it sounds like she's got this like journey to get like clues or something, or at least that's what she's making it seem like to the other house guests. I know Rachel was kind of talking about it a little bit, seeming like maybe she needs to find some clues or things like that, or there's an extra competition involved for Kelly to get an extra power of veto, which will be very useful to her this week. And she has, to our knowledge, kind of activated that already and is in the process of that. Something along those lines. We'll get more clarification on tomorrow's episode. Keanu's power is... this is absolutely batshit. Keanu's power, which has been activated, and we'll talk about it. Keanu's power is that he gets to bring in a former house guest to compete for him in a power of veto competition. And if Keanu or that former house guest wins the power of veto, then Keanu gets the veto. This is wild. This is wild. We'll talk more about that later because it does get activated for this week. But it is absolutely nuts. It is absolutely nuts. And then we find out that Mickey's power is an HOH takeover with a bit of a twist. So it's kind of a classic HOH takeover. We're not exactly sure when in the week she gets to take over the HOH, but it sounds like the HOH can stop the takeover if they can correctly call out who it is that is taking over the HOH. So when the takeover happens, the acting HOH has 3 minutes to interview all of the house guests, figure out who they think is trying to take over their HOH. And if the acting HOH guesses correctly, Mickey will get called out for being the one to take over the HOH. And the HOH will not get taken over. And if the HOH cannot guess who it is, then Mickey will successfully take over the HOH. And it'll be a standard classic HOH takeover. And she has until jury to use this power. And I think that's fabulous for our girl Mickey. I'm very excited for her. Thankfully, it sounds like the only person she's told so far is Morgan, which I love. I kind of wish she kept it to herself. But thankfully, she's only telling one person, unlike Kelly and Keanu, who have told basically almost every single house guest, every single camera, the PAs, everyone in the diary room, the fish, the candlestick, the weight bench, the fridge. Everybody knows at this point that Keanu and Kelly have powers. So much so that Jimmy has decided that he wants to target Keanu and Kelly. Mostly Keanu. Keanu is the main target for the week because obviously Jimmy and Keanu had been beefing from last week's whole situation. We're kind of spilling that over into this week. Also, Keanu is lying about his vote, specifically to Jimmy, and lying about not voting out Zay. He's saying that he did vote to evict Zay when he didn't. And Jimmy, in this entire situation, is just asking people to tell the truth. Like, Riley told him, like, a lot of people have told him the truth. Keanu refuses to tell him the truth, and I don't really get why. But now they're going back and forth, and they've had so many different, like, confrontation moments. It's been, like, a whole thing. Jimmy and Keanu are just not getting along. So, yeah. Jimmy's main target for the week is Keanu. And also he is wanting to target Kelly because it is now common knowledge that both of them have powers. They're trying to figure out who the third person is, because ideally Jimmy would like to flush all three powers. The house guests do know that there are three powers. It was announced by the mastermind, I believe. So ideally he wants to just get rid of all three powers, no problem. They don't know who the third person is with the power yet. So Jimmy is mostly telling Morgan and Zach he wants to flush Kelly and Keanu's powers. Spoiler, he's done that. And he basically just needs a pawn to go on the block and to, get because he needs a third nom, basically. He's talking about a lot of different people. I'll talk about who it is here in a second. And like I said, the only person that Mickey has told about her power so far is Morgan. They are kind of a locked-in duo right now. Love that for them. There's a couple of different plans and ideas about who Jimmy wants to put up as this pawn. There's an idea of Riley at one point. There's an idea of Adrian at one point. There's an idea of Amy at one point. It was going to be Riley for a while. However, Riley ends up moping around the house for most of the day. I don't really get this, but that's kind of what was happening. So Jimmy ends up saying that he didn't put up Riley because he didn't want to make his day worse. Okay. Sure. All right. That's fine. Got it. Anyway. Ultimately, we get nominations, and Jimmy, the HOH, has nominated Keanu, Kelly, and Adrian for eviction. Keanu is the primary target, Kelly is the backup target, and Adrian is intended to be the pawn in this lineup. We do also get our veto picks today. We got them this morning, and this is where we find out that both Kelly and Keanu's powers have been activated. So Kelly, I'm still trying to wrap my head around exactly what Kelly has to do. Genuinely hoping we get an update in tomorrow's episode as to what the hell Kelly has to do. But Keanu did activate his power. So when the veto player picks happened today, we find out that we have Jimmy playing as the HOH. The three nominees, Adrian, Kelly, and Keanu, are playing. Ava was picked out of the chip bag. And a former house guest is presumably currently in the house playing the veto on behalf of Keanu. So Keanu basically has a 1/3 shot of winning the veto this week. And then on top of that, Kelly also has her power of veto that she is planning to find, but then has also said if she gets the veto, she's not planning to use the veto on herself. So I'm like, girl, what are you planning to do? This whole week, like, Jimmy could end up having to nominate up to like 6 people this week. And this week could turn into an absolute mess for Jimmy. And I feel for Jimmy, but as a viewer, I'm living. Oh, I'm living. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so, so good. The mess. It's week 2, and the mess. And then Ava's just there. I love Ava. I love Ava so much. Ava's just there. Ava's just there, and I love it. I love that Ava, of all people, is the person that got pulled for the veto too. I love it. I love it. I love it. But fans and the house guests have been speculating as to who it could be that is in the house playing the veto. I know Jag has said on some things that he was going silent for a little bit. So people are speculating it might be Jag. People think it might be Tucker. People think it might be Michael. It's probably going to be one of those 3. I personally would like a more off the wall pick. Someone maybe like a Janelle. I think Janelle would be fun. If we're going for this like Traitors-esque choice, I think someone like Janelle would be fun. I think someone like Sari would be fun. I don't think they would pick Sari. I don't think Sari would want to do it, frankly. But I feel like at this point, I feel like it's Jag or Tucker, just because, chaos and all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that makes the most sense to me at this point. So we'll see. We'll see when everything comes back up. Who is playing in the veto? Who do you want to play in the veto? Let me know. I would like to know. I would love to know. But back over to just general house things. Obviously, we know that Jimmy is targeting Keanu. He's already considered his renom options for the week. Overall, he's got this idea. He's got 3 renoms kind of in mind for the week, being Amy kind of as like the safe target because she was already up last week. He does admit it's not really good for his game because he's trying to build relationships outside of the relationships he's already got. And especially he's trying to build his relationship with Rachel, which I really like. He's considering putting up Will, because Will did vote to keep Zay. Hasn't really done any big damage control with that. And also apparently did injure himself in the HOH competition. I haven't seen much of Will on feeds. So I'm not exactly sure what the injury was. But it sounds like he did injure himself in the HOH competition in some capacity. So Jimmy is kind of thinking, well, he may not be the best in the blockbuster. Maybe that can turn him into like a perpetual pawn situation. Not necessarily putting Will up to send Will home necessarily at this point in Jimmy's plan, but if need be, putting him up. And then also the idea of putting up Riley as a pawn, simply just because, Riley's kind of been pouting. People are kind of not weirded out by Riley, but his energy has just been a little bit weird in the house. Ultimately, Jimmy here today was in conversation with Catherine right before the veto happened. I was telling Catherine that if Keanu and Kelly come down, if both of them come down with the vetoes, his target would be Amy. He would put Amy up, and that his target would become Amy, if it came down to like Amy versus Adrian potentially on the block, or Amy versus Will on the block. So it does sound like if both Keanu and Kelly came down, Amy and Will would go up, and then it would be Amy, Will, and Adrian on the block, with Amy as the primary target here, which I don't love. I don't love putting up like two of the oldest house guests here. Like, I don't think that's I don't know what that does for Jimmy's game. Like, I know that he's targeting Keanu, and it's difficult still because it's week 2, but I don't really necessarily know what that does for... I don't know what that does for Jimmy's game, honestly. But I also don't know who else he would put up, because he's kind of made it very, very clear that his target is Keanu. So for Jimmy, hey, I hope he wins Veto. I hope Adrian wins Veto. Those are his kind of two best options, because I think Ava would probably use the veto on Keanu at this point. Kelly's going to use the veto on somebody. I think the only scenario where the power of veto, competition veto, is not used is in a situation where Jimmy wins. Otherwise, I think the veto gets used in every other scenario. So Jimmy's got to hope that whatever this comp is, he is successful at it. Because otherwise... And he's won 2 comps already. So, and 2 very different comps. So Jimmy's got to hope that he can pull through and really, pull out, do his big one today. Because otherwise, Jimmy... It's going to be a messy week for Jimmy if he doesn't win this veto. Because otherwise, I think in every other scenario, this veto gets used. Ooh, no. Jimmy, no. In other news, Amy is talking today and a little bit of last night to Rachel that she's a little bit upset that she's become a target because of her association with Rachel. And I'm like, girl... You know Rachel Riley. Why are you upset that you're a target because of Rachel Riley? Girl, be so fucking for real. I'm sorry. And she made Rachel upset. How dare you? How dare you? Girl, be so for real. Anyway. We see that we see this kind of all of the like potential showmancing situations are starting to blossom as well. There's flirtations, there's crushing, there's a lot of things going on. Riley is making it very, very clear. He is very into Catherine. He has kind of just made it clear that I think he literally said at one point, he is here to make sure Catherine wins $750,000. And all right, baby. You need to be a little bit less worried about Catherine, a little bit more worried about your baby mama at home, but that's fine. The problem is Catherine is very not interested in Riley. But as she said in her preseason stuff, she's going to use a man to get to the $750,000. So, Catherine, do your thing, girl. Do your thing, girl. I support it. We've also got this whole situation going on with Zach and with Lauren, kind of, they've been kind of flirtmancing, the start of something going on. But now we also see Zach kind of flirting with Morgan as well. They were having some like flirty chats last night into today. So it's been very, very interesting to see that as well. And then last night they were playing Truth or Dare, and Ashley dared Zach to kiss Lauren in front of the entire house. And so Morgan isn't happy with Ashley now, and no one's really happy with Ashley because we're still getting the aftermath of Showergate, even though we found out from Julie. Thank you, Sharon Tharp. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Sharon. We found out that the shower only took 30 minutes. It was not a 2-hour-long shower. It was 30 minutes. And otherwise she was having a game chat. So, period. Thank you very much. But obviously she can't say that because, she can't tell the house guest she was having a game chat with the HOH. Duh. So she was in a lose-lose situation. But I hate that Ashley is still getting all of this flack. I hope she can just lay under the radar just a few more weeks longer. And I think there's going to be some other targets that kind of emerge a little bit higher than Ashley. But as we saw last week, she won the veto. So, she is capable of winning comps. So, if she is back up against the wall, I think she can pull herself out of it. But I hate she's getting all of this like negativity, especially from Morgan and from Catherine. Like, I don't love that for Ashley because I like all three of these ladies in the house. So I don't really want any of them to kind of, have anything going on. Ashley and Amy have been talking a lot. Ashley, Amy, and Rachel have kind of been a bit of a trio, but Rachel is like not really the most happy with Ashley because they like got pulled for a chat in the bathroom and Ashley said that was messy. And then Rachel like stormed off last night. It was like a whole thing. Jesus. But Ashley and Amy are already talking about who they want to take to jury. And I'm like, babies, y'all need to worry about getting to jury at this point. Both of you need to worry about making it to jury. Because at this point, most people are talking about taking Rachel to top 5. And I did not expect 11 days into this Big Brother season for Rachel Riley to be in one of the best positions in the house. So Ashley, Amy, y'all need to be worrying about making it to jury at this point instead of worrying about who you want to take to jury. Girls, get it together. Good God, get a grip, girls. Come on now. And then I loved, and I'll close out with this beautiful moment with our dear sweet icon, Miss Rachel Riley. We had a family dinner last night on Feeds, and I loved, they were going around just talking about, things in general. And I love that Rachel was talking specifically about how she had never really felt appreciated from either her other two casts, and how this is the most appreciated she's felt in the Big Brother house so far. Like, she had never had a family dinner in the Big Brother house before, and now she's had 2 so far this season. So even though not everybody in the house is like absolutely loving Rachel, I do really appreciate the vibe and the camaraderie that we're getting from this cast. Like, I loved the chanting for Kelly that we got when she won the Blockbuster. I loved the chanting for Zay that we got when he left the house. Like, I just think the camaraderie of this cast is really, really commendable. Like, everyone's playing hard. Everyone's like really, really, like, they're playing Big Brother, but there's also this sense of like, everyone's still human, and we're playing with this sense of like knowing that we're all still people at the end of the day, and that's even extending to Rachel in this case. And I'm just really happy to see that, and I'm really happy that Rachel is getting like a positive Big Brother experience out of this. So I'm really happy to see it for her. Yeah, I'm really happy for Rachel, and I'm really happy Rachel's here. I'm loving Rachel week and a half in. I'm a Rachel stan, so, anytime we get to see Rachel on my TV, I'm happy, and I'm still gagged we have Rachel in the house as a player. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. But that is almost about everything from this weekend, the last 36 hours in the Big Brother 27 house in just under 36 minutes. So, hey, look at me. With all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you for joining me for this BB27 weekend recap. We will be back next week talking more things BB27. We'll be back for Manic Monday on Monday with Brooke, Waffle Wednesday with Jack. I'll be back for sure on Thursday with our second live eviction of BB27, and Lana will be back on Saturday for our Saturday noms, or some variety of our panel will be back to talk about some things. In the meantime, make sure to go check out some of our other content here at the Cup TV and across all of the Cup Network. We're putting out content almost every single day. We're trying to hit 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year across all 4 of our channels. Your support means the world to us. Thank you, BB fans. And with that being said, from way, way, way outside the Big Brother house, I've been Logan. We've been the Cup. Love only yourself and nobody else. Don't even think about it. And have a bad morning. Cheers, house guests. Bye.